Hi, and welcome to 6 Minute Saturdays. My name is Tina Powell, C-Suite Social Media, and we are going to talk about the 7 key essential elements of websites that financial advisors need to know. So I hope that you'll listen in, and with that, let me start the clock for 6 minutes after that I switch the screen. So here we go. Okay, great. Timer is now starting. So 7 key elements. Why are we talking about this? Because marketing is designed to drive qualified leads to either a website or a landing page. And most of the time, websites, at least the ones that we encounter, need a little bit of a refresh. And so websites no longer have the same length or shelf life as they used to. So if you're not redoing your website every 2 years, then your website is probably stale and need of a facelift. So along with these 7 key elements of effective website, I'm going to show you 2 examples of what we think are great websites out there that you could model after. So when we think of websites, websites are our online store. They are not only designed to express and show what it is that the value that we bring to the marketplace and who we are, our vision and our purpose, but in addition to that, they should be designed well enough to encourage repeat visits, right? That's why we have a blog function on our website, because we want that dynamic content, right? We want everything to be changing all the time to give people a reason for coming in the door. It's no different than if you had a clothing store, for example. You would change the outfits in the front of the room. You would redo your windows. And again, you're trying to encourage those repeat visits. Well, websites need to do the same thing, but most of the time they're not. Now, visitors, it's really important that that user experience, and that, which is typically called UX, and UI, the user interface, these things have an impact on the visitor traffic to your site. And so visitors are going to judge your site predominantly on 2 factors. Number 1, the ease of use, and that speaks for itself. And number 2 is physical attractiveness. So keep those 2 topics in mind as you're looking at your website. Okay, now here's a great example, and this is Bot Law out of a law practice in Jersey City. And what I love about Bot's site here is that, first of all, the colors and the photography are so clear and they're so impactful. It really gives me a great, it's very clean, very streamlined, but also to a very modern feel. And then also over here, this Tilton and Company, these CPAs are out of Arizona. This is a great website and a good place to start to talk about what are those 7 key elements of effective web design. And this comes from the text of my marketing management course that I taught at Integrated Marketing at NYU. And so here it is. So the context, that's number 1, is context. And that has the layout and design. And we can see here from Tilton and Company, right? The menu items, everything is very clear. The layout and design is really encourages you to stay on the site and to maybe explore some other key areas of the site. That brings us to number 2, the content, which is the text, the pictures. In this case, it has no sound, but one of the things that you're not seeing on this website is that this is right here in the center, that main hero image. Well, that's actually an image carousel, and it goes from image to image. And again, just like Bot Law site that we looked previously, it's so crystal clear, right? You can see people working here. I love it. It shows collaboration, and it supports their tagline here, which the power to make a difference, the people to make it count. That imagery, that visual right there says people working together. It's very strong and impactful. So the next is community and how the site enables user-to-user communication. And I want to draw your attention here to the, oh boy, I didn't mean to do all of those at the same time, but that's okay. So the community, look at these menu items over here. Let's get it back. The about, the newsletter, the financial guides, that's an aspect of enabling end-to-end communication with that user online. Look at how clear and how organized those different areas are. So they do incorporate, they do encourage that user to actually engage with the site. So then the fourth would be customization, and that's the site's ability to tailor itself to different users here. And I think that Tilton also too does a good job. You can see that they're CPAs and they're also too wealth advisors, and there are different sections of the website that would gear you in either direction. So I think that the customization is done good here. The communication, this is one of my favorite parts of the site because I just loved it. I found it so crystal clear how the site enables site to user, user to site, or two-way communication. So it's this kind of back and forth. Again, if we think of our websites as our online store, what are we doing to encourage a conversation? What are we doing to encourage a repeat visit? And Tilton does an extremely good job here. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, you see two buttons. One says login and the other says subscribe. So both, especially the subscribe, is going to encourage that two-way communication because you'll subscribe to the newsletter and then you'll become part of the mailing list area. So number 6 is the connection, the degree that the site is linked to other sites. Now, I didn't look and see that aspect of the site to see where they were connected, but that doesn't really apply here. I'm sure that the tax center and the financial guides do have some sort of outward bound link, but again, I didn't do enough of the clicking around on that site, excuse me, to see how well the connection is there. Number 7 is really important, and we're at the 6-minute mark here already. That is the commerce. Site's ability to enable commercial transaction. Well, certainly I think that it does. If we go down, I did click on the contact us, and it was very easy to make an appointment to go into the Tilton and Company's offices. So that is before you can engage in a client, you've got to give them some time to either come into the practice or time on the phone to do a talk. And I thought again that Tilton did that very well. So if we just kind of bring it all together, those 7 elements, we gave you 2 examples here in today's 6-minute Saturday, really 7. Context, content, community, customization, communication, connection, and commerce. So please, as you're thinking about all of those elements, do me a favor, 2018, make it the year that you redo your website for those 7 key essential elements. Thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Bye.